Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. We finally have the sun out today. It's a beautiful sunny day, but it is still freezing out there. So I am hoping we've got some warm temperatures coming our way because we just haven't got it yet. But spring is definitely in the air. So what's going on? There's a ton going on. Let me just remind everybody again, though, we do have a huge vote coming up May 13th. So I'm just going to come on here and just remind you that we have a vote coming up for a debt exclusion. That debt exclusion is for the Newburyport Recreation and Youth Services Center project at 59 Low Street. And now, if you're looking for more information on that, we are going to be coming out with public information sessions. We're going to try to do a couple different ones. There is also different groups that are going to be out there pushing out information. But if you're looking information from the city, you can go to our website. It's cityofnewburyport.com. If you go to the projects page, there is a whole page about this project. And that should give you all the information that you need to know. We've also set up on our finance page a calculator that you can actually click on and then enter in what your property is currently assessed at, and it will tell you exactly the tax impact that this project would have for you. And just remember, one of those things, the high school project is falling off this year, right? So that you'll see that one on there, and then you'll get to compare. That one will be dropping off, but you'll get to see what the rec center would be. I did it myself the other day. It was really easy. I got to see exactly what the impact would be for me, and so I hope you guys all do that too. It's also Earth Month, right? We're into April, so it's Earth Month. April 22nd is Earth Day. That's my birthday, so I'm a big Earth Day fan. So there's a few things going on this month that I just want to let you be aware of around Earth Day. First, if you're starting to do those spring cleanups, even though it is still chilly out there, if you're doing that a little bit of raking and getting your yard together, the yard waste facility is open. It opened yesterday, so it opened this week, so that is open. You can get there just about every day of the week except for Monday. So again, start those cleanups. The yard waste facility is open. We also launched here at the city a new clean energy program to help older adults older adults and residents here in Newburyport adopt energy solutions that can lower costs and add comfort. Excuse me. So we just started that program. And households that are able to adopt some of these energy technologies will be eligible for some financial incentives. All right. So if you have more questions about that, please check out the sustainability and energy page on our city website. And finally, I'm not going to be here next week, but Earth Day, we're going to have our annual Earth Day celebration Saturday, April 19th at Market Square. That's usually around 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock as they do that there. And that's usually a great event. On May 18th, so a little bit further down the road in May, we're holding our Green Expo, all right? And the city is hosting this Green Expo. I believe it's going to be at the middle school, but I will send along more information once we get closer to May 18th. But we do this every couple of years. It's a huge event. Molly Ettenborough and her team kind of take the reins on this one, but there's going to be a lot of great information, a lot of great things involved there, but we'll share more info about that down the road. I've mentioned parklets a couple times over the last couple weeks here in the Mayor's Corner. So there is a meeting in the Licensing and Permit Subcommittee of the City Council on Thursday, April 10th at 6:30 here at City Hall. And they will be talking about an order that has been submitted to slightly raise the fees for our parklet outdoor dining program here in Newburyport, which would take an effect next year. I think we're all set for this year. I don't think it will impact this year. But when that came out, it kind of raised some alarm bells, and a city councilor had kind of spoken up as well, raised the alarm bells that we were trying to get rid of the parklet program. I can tell you we're not trying to do that. I think Newburyport, I can only speak for myself, but I am a 100% supporter of the outdoor dining. It adds so much to the experience downtown. But what I did say is I do think City Council, and they're the ones that set the fees for these types of things, I do think City Council, after this year, needs to really look at the program and then decide how do we make this program sustainable for years to come and really solidify that, right? Because there's a lot of things that we just don't have the answers to, right? You know, what if more people applied for a parklet than we actually have, right? Are we charging enough money so we have money to repair and go buy new parklets? Are we examining how much time this is taking for DPS to assemble, to disassemble, to store, Those are all hours that the city DPS could be doing something else in town. So we do have to take that into consideration. So all these little things I think the city council really needs to look at. And I don't think it needs to happen now, but I do think it should happen this year before we get to the point where we're advertising for next year, right? And the whole goal should be is coming up with a program that's sustainable, that can last, and can benefit not only the city, but our downtown restaurants. So stay tuned for that. And if you do want to come speak to city council about this, you can come to that meeting tomorrow here at City Hall, 6:30 of the licensing and permitting. They will have a public comment session, but again, the only issue they're really taking up right now is the fees and not the program itself. But I'm sure they would love to hear from the public. What else is going on? I came from a meeting today, so I am part of, Whittier was over a year ago now, right? Back in January of last year that we had the big Whittier vote. I think 80% of the people who voted in that election, and there was a huge turnout in all 11 communities, voted against this massive project for Whittier's new building, which was over, close to $500 million, right? Again, I'm not going to rehash that project, but I mean, it was the public spoke, and it was clear that wasn't something we were interested in. So we've kind of moved forward with this idea and concept around a Northern Essex and Whittier partnership on a shared campus. And so I'm part of that working group. There was a group that met that came up with a report from the UMass Donahue Center. So that report is out there. So we're going to be sharing that with the public. If it's not already out there, we're going to make sure that gets posted up on the website so people can take a look at it. And where that report landed was this shared campus model. And we're gonna have a public meeting, I think, at some point and go into this a little bit more. But what this working group now that I've been in, that we've now met 4 times, for us to try to stay in the queue for the Massachusetts School Building Authority money, the MSBA, they've given us a deadline of July 1st. And what they want to see by July 1st is they want to see an acknowledgement that if this project moves forward, that there will be a brand new regional agreement, because we're describing something brand new. We're not talking about the school that currently exists. So you would think that a new regional agreement would be needed, which I think is a good thing. It absolutely needs to be done. We need to have a letter signed by all 11 communities saying their support of further looking at this model. Which would lead to the next step is the feasibility study. And that feasibility study has to be funded by us, which means all 11 communities, Whittier, Northern Essex, I think all of us, we won't get any money to the state to look at this feasibility study, which will probably take a couple years to do. But that will look at the viability of the project at Northern Essex, right? So they imagine that feasibility study is going to cost between around $2.5 million. So today at the meeting, Northern Essex and Whittier pledged to come up with 1.5 million of that, which means the districts or the towns and cities that make up Whittier will have to come up with the other million. So for us, that'd be about $120,000. We don't have any exact numbers yet, and I haven't submitted anything to council yet, but that's what we'd be looking at. And to me, that would just give us a path to get more options about what's that look like for Newburyport. Again, we only have about 32 kids that go there right now out of our 2,100 kids that go to school here in Newburyport. So we're going to have to start having a community conversation, I guess, a little bit about what we think about this project. And, again, that is a good chunk of money that we're going to have to allocate towards this feasibility study to see if this, Northern Essex Whittier option is even feasible. And what's the cost look like, right? Is it now a $300 million project, which is still pretty expensive, right? So we have to figure out all of those things. Now, one good thing is that these things all take years, so this isn't something that's going to come up right away, but it's something we've got to work on. So I will continue to let you know the progress, and I will begin to have a conversation with City Council and School Committee around just the project itself and what are we thinking our Newburyport's role should be and what our path should be in involvement in this moving forward. So that's where we are with Whittier. Streets and sidewalk work is just about to start all over the place. I'm just going to give you the streets real quick that we're doing this year. We're doing 10 streets. Again, we're kind of putting more into the sidewalk work on some of these streets. So that's kind of why you saw in the first year we did so many streets, and we've had a great number of streets each year, but we're really focusing on streets that we can do the street and the sidewalk right now too. Streets that are really in poor shape, and then sidewalks that also can be addressed Not in all cases, but in most cases. So the streets that are getting done this year: Noble Street, Ashland Court, Farrell Street, Garden Street, Independence Street, Butler Street, Adams Street, Beck Street, Smith Street, and then finally we're going to close the year doing State Street, at least from High Street down to Merrimack Water Street. We'll do that after the outdoor dining season, so by late September into October, we'll start working on State Street, hopefully getting done before Halloween so we can enjoy that street and downtown trick-or-treat for Halloween. So that's where we are with the street work. Any questions, please reach out to our Department of Public Services, but we're excited. We got a lot of good streets on the list this year. Lots going on this week. I've got to go to National Art Honor Society tonight. I've got to go to National Honor Society tomorrow night. My daughter's getting inducted. Congratulations, Sadie. And then there's also the Chamber of Commerce Legislative Dinner. So a lot of good things going on around town. I love the legislative dinner. It's nice to hear from our partners at the state level and from the whole region as well, not just for Newburyport. So we'll get a lot of good information there. And then finally, I'm just going to let everyone know I'm not going to be here next week, so there'll be no Mayor's Corner next week. I actually got surprised with a vacation. I get to go with my wife for a few days. I'm turning 50 on April 22nd, so this is kind of like my birthday gift. I don't think I've taken a vacation since before I was elected. So it'll be nice to get away for a couple days and spend some quality time with my much better half. But in the meantime, I hope everyone can enjoy the spring. Hopefully the warm weather is coming soon, and I will see you all next time on the Mayor's Corner.